How do we build a development environment? What should we do for that? Yeah, correct. We need to make a folder of any name, but it should be identifiable, and it should be a separate folder where you keep on adding your files to that folder. And in that particular folder, you need to create other 3 folders. One to store source files, means the .java files that becomes the source for the code that you write. Please. Yeah, please. So that source, to store those source files, the .java files that you create one source folder. And when you compile those source files using Java compiler, that will be converted to bytecode.class files. To store those bytecode.class files, we create one more folder called as source classes folders. And we have to create one more folder called lib. For now, we do not use this lib folder, but we need this lib folder to store other jar files, okay, Java archive files. To these archive files are coded by someone else, and if we want to use those Java files, we have to put it in this lib folder. For now, we are not going to use this lib folder. We will use it when we advance in the topics. Clear? This is how we set up our development environment. And before development environment, we should do something else. After downloading JDK and installing the JDK, we need to do something else. What is that? If you have noticed it. Yeah, correct. Anant Narayan is correct. Anybody else can speak out? After installing JDK, what we need to do? Yeah, correct. We need to set up the path or configure the environment variable for the bin folder of the JDK. Okay. Why do we need to do this? Why do we need to set up the path?
So that the JVM collects the programs from that folder also.
No.
From source folder and class folder, where we are.
No, that is not the reason.
The java.exe from which
that to compiler.
Come back. I did not hear.
We tell that to compiler.
No. No. The path is set so that from wherever from whichever folder or from whichever drive we type the command Java or javac, so that path is fetched from this environment variable to fetch that bin folder and execute our Java instructions. Okay. If we have installed Java only in C drive, we cannot run the Java related commands in D drive or any other drives. To make it happen, we need to specify the path to that particular bin folder, so that whenever we type Java or Java related commands in the command prompts, we will not get an error that like Java is not recognized command. Okay, to do this, we need to configure this path. Else, if you are going to run the Java applications only in C drive where your JDK is installed, you need not configure this path. Clear? Any questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
So in case of MacBook, where do we set the environment variable?
MacBook, I don't have an idea because I have not used. So I will get back to you. You can message me. I will search how to set the environment variable. like you have to do it using command line argument only. So I will just check out it and I will get back to you. You can message it to me. If you have not done it, I will help you with it. Okay.
Okay.
Who is this? Can I know your name?
Samir.
Samir. Please message me, Samir. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Any other question?
No, that's all.
Okay. So let's see how to download JDK from the internet. How many of you have downloaded the JDK and have coded Hello World program? Done? Okay, good. Some of you have done. I'll share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. Okay, good. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So in your browser, open up any of your browser and type download JDK latest version for Windows. If you are using Windows, okay, you type it, you get a site like this, Oracle site, which is www.oracle.com Java downloads. Okay, you click on this, you will be navigated to this particular website where you have Java downloads, and the latest version is Java 20. Okay, you download this 20 version. If you want to download it for Linux system, you can download it here. Some exe file will be here. I don't know. I have not downloaded this .deb version. You got to download. Then for Mac OS, you got to down. Should you do this installer? I don't know. I'll check it out. I think you have to do this installer and then install the JDK. Maybe I'll check it out. Then for Windows, you got to download this particular .exe file. Don't download this .zip and .msi. Please download this .exe file. Okay. So click on this. So if you are using Windows 11, you will see the download happening here, or else, don't you have mobile phone? You're seeing? Are you not in that group? You are first class. Can you share the link with? Okay.
So I have a doubt.
Yeah.
I have already installed JDK a few years ago, and I realized that I have JDK 11 installed on my computer. So should I
Yeah.
also do the same procedure, or should I do some kind of update procedure?
It's better to reinstall JDK or update the JDK. Means if you go and install it again, it will auto update. Sometimes it will not auto update. Then you will have two versions of JDK. So the best thing is to uninstall the previous JDK and delete that Java file which is there in the program files folder, and then reinstall the latest version of JDK.
Sure, thank you.
Okay. So if you go here, you can see this JDK 20 is installed, downloaded. You go to that folder or downloaded folder, then double click on it. Okay. This takes a bit time to run it, and it asks for permissions like whether they should allow to change your device like that. You give yes. And it shows like this, preparing to install. and you press next, and you see your Java will be downloaded to this particular folder. Earlier, you can see it here, like in my C folder, C drive, in program files, I do not have any folder named with Java. Okay, but when I do this, when I tell after installing a program or a folder with name Java will be installed or will be added to this program files folder. Okay, this is how you check whether Java is installed correctly or not. Okay, then you tell next. If you want to change this file path, you can change it, but better to keep it in this particular folder. So tell next, and it will be installed. You see the Java came here. So yeah, that's done. You close this. So now the Java is installed to our system. So you can click on this particular folder named as Java, and you can see inside Java, you have a folder called as JDK20. JDK is Java Development Kit, and the number you see after that is the version of JDK. Okay, JDK is what dependent?
Platform dependent.
Platform.
Yeah, JDK is platform dependent. So my Windows system will have its own JDK, and Mac OS system will have its own JDK, and Linux system will have its own JDK. Okay, so you have to download it separately. So you click on this. In bin folder, you can see there are so many things that are there. Okay, like you have jar files, you have Java. Okay, this is what is JVM. You have Java C, which is Java compiler. You have Java doc, Java W is for servlets. All those things you have. Okay, everything that is needed for now to run and compile, we will get after immediately after we install JDK. Okay, clear? Any questions?
So I have
download the one with .deb, right?
Come back, your voice got broken.
We have to download the one with .deb.
For Linux. For Linux or Windows?
Windows.
For Windows, you got to download the .exe file.
Sir, what about Mac?
Yeah, Mac OS, I'll get back to you. It is mostly this .dmg. Okay.
So, like, we'll have to, get back to us as in we have to wait and you'll tell us after Windows people have downloaded, sir.
No, I will just tell you just after this class. I will send a message what you should do.
Okay, sir.
Okay. I'm not sure which one you should download, so I'll make it sure and I'll send it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Any
so I
questions?
have one more question.
Yeah.
So both of us are using Windows systems. So when we download the exe file, we will get the same content in the
Yeah.
C programs, irrespective of whether you have i7 processor or whether I have i5 processor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Got
It depends on OS. It doesn't depend on processor.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So shall we continue?
Yes, sir.
Now we got to set up the path, the environment variable path. How we can do that is by clicking on this PC. You can see this PC here in this navigation bar. Right click on this and go to properties. Okay. This PC, right click properties and search for this advanced system settings. Okay. Click on this and you see environment variables here in the bottom. Okay. Click on that environment variable and here you got to set the path. You click on new and you type path. Okay. Then you come back here to this C drive, program files and Java JDK20 bin. So this complete path name you need to copy and go back here and paste it for the variable value. Clear? This is how you set the path for the JDK bin. This is how you configure the environment variable path and you press OK.
So
And yeah,
do we need to change, set up the path in system variable or user variable?
user variable. User variable, this above this one. Okay.
Okay, okay.
So then.
What
tell
is the
us-
difference
Can you repeat
between
this
these two?
again?
Should I repeat this again?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So go to this PC. Right click on this. Go to properties. Okay. Search for advanced system settings. If you are using Windows 11, it will be here exactly. If you are using Windows 10, it will be somewhere here, this side, on the right side of the laptop. Okay, on your right side of the laptop. Okay. So click on this advanced system settings. A window will pop up like this, and it will have an option like this at the bottom, like environment variables. Click on this environment variables. Okay. And here in the first section, don't go for the bottom section. Above this, in this top section, click on new, type the path name as path or variable name as path, and variable value is the path to the bin folder of the JDK. My JDK is in C drive, program files, Java, JDK20 bin. Okay, this should be the value. This should be the name and this should be the value, and click on OK. This will set up the path and you can see the path like this. Okay, here. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
So should the path be small p or capital P?
Keep it as small p.
Okay.
Okay, because you will have some other path with capital P here. You can for the system variables. So keep it as small p.
Okay.
So what is the difference between this user variable settings and system variable settings? Sir?
User variable settings means you are going to set some of the path, and system variable settings means some of the path are set by the system to use various applications. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So you click on OK. I have already set. I don't click on OK. I'll just cancel it. Clear? Okay. Now, how to test whether Java is installed or not on our system? So now, for that, we open the command prompt. If you go to the search bar of your Windows like this and type CMD and hit enter, or you can see that command prompt will come up here and you just hit enter and you will see a black screen like this. Okay, you can customize this to any color like black, white, blue. It's your wish. So you see the screen when you type CMD on the search bar of your Windows. Okay, then here, how to check whether Java is there or not? So you type, for that you type Java. Okay, and hit enter. If Java is installed successfully, you will see all these options here. Okay, all these many options are shown here. If Java is not installed successfully, you will find an error message like Java is not recognized as internal or external command. Okay, if you see that particular error, then the Java or JDK is not installed properly on your system. So then you need to install it again. So if you see all these various options that you can do with Java, if you see this, then it's sure that the Java or JDK is installed successfully on your system. I'll just clear this command prompt and type, I want to check the version of JDK that is installed on this machine. So that I type Java-version and hit enter. You can see the Java version is 20.0.1. Okay, and it got released on 2023/4/18. Okay, so now the JDK is installed successfully. If you want to check it somewhere else, so suppose if you go here and I want to create one folder, as I told, now we are going to set up the development environment. So I suggest all of you to start it from the beginning, such that you create one particular folder to store all the files that you code in this entire course. Okay, don't change that, and you got to submit it. Whatever you code, you got to submit it to me, so that let it be in one particular folder. So better you create that folder with your own name. Like I'm going to create one folder in this D drive. You can, after setting the path, you can create it from anywhere. Okay, I'm going to create a folder with my name. Okay, so even you create a folder with your name and go inside this and click on this particular search bar. Okay, or this path bar, and type CMD. Okay, and hit enter. This opens the command prompt on that particular folder. Okay, to run any Java application or to compile any Java application, you should be, this command prompt should be open in that particular folder. Okay, this you should always remember. So suppose here, if I type Java-version and hit enter, you see even from the D drive, I can access the Java which is installed in C drive. Clear? This is why
repeat the
we,
process, sir?
yeah, I'll repeat it. This is why we set up the environment variable for the path. I'll repeat. So create one folder in whichever drive you want with your own name. Okay, go there, and on this particular what bar you call, I don't know, this particular, where you can see the path, you click on this, remove this path and type CMD. This should work in Windows system, and hit enter. This will open up the command prompt in that particular folder. Where am I? I am inside D drive. Inside D drive, I am in a folder called Mahabal. Okay, here, from here, I am going to access Java. Okay, that's why I type Java and hit enter, I get the same options that I got from the C drive. Clear? Any questions?
Yeah, I have one question, Mahabul.
Yeah,
So I see Java 20 is released very recently.
yeah, correct.
So what if we use the older version of Java? How different
You can use, but it's better to use the latest version.
Okay, suppose if
But never use the Java version which is less than 8, means 1.8. At least your Java version should be more than, it should be 1.8 or 11 or 17, 19, 20. You can use 18 also, but better to use the latest version.
okay.
Okay.
Any
Now you may not find any much problem, but when you shift to Eclipse, the IDE that you are going to use, then you will face some problem. Okay. The
Excuse me, sir.
basic, yeah.
Sir, can you show us the path, like how to set the path again? I'm unable to use Java in my system right now.
I will just send all the steps written in a document. You can follow it. Even then, if you face any problem, please message me. I will just guide you. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Cool. So shall we continue?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in 2-3 days, you may get one lab document, and which will be your practicals 1. Okay. Think that you are going to start practicals 1. So in this particular folder with your name, create one more folder called practicals 1. Okay. Then inside this, create all those 3 folders, namely source, classes, and lib folder. Okay. I create one folder, src, and I create one more folder, classes, and lib we do not use, we can create it. Okay. So whatever Java file, .java file we write will be in this src folder. Okay, you open this. So now we have to download the IDE or the place where we want to code. So you can use either TextPad or Notepad++. Better to use Notepad++ because the Notepad++ have more features and it looks good than TextPad. Okay. So when Vikram sir made that video, the Notepad++ was not there. So nowadays we are using Notepad++. You can use either of the thing, but Notepad++ has more features and looks good. So let's download that even. So I go to the browser, I type Notepad++, download for Windows. So then, I click on this and I download this latest version. So I click on this download. You can see it started downloading, and you just click on this. It asks for the permission. I click on yes, and please watch this. Concentrate. Select a language. It is English. Okay. Then select. Just click on next, and even here go down, and click on I agree. And it is also stored in program files, Notepad++, and click on next. So click on these things, auto completion files. It should be checked. Okay. Now we are using Java, so it should be checked. Then function list files, plugins, auto updater, it is not required. And themes you need, you can change those themes like that. Okay. This auto completion should be clicked. Okay, so that the brackets, if you type one bracket, it will get you another bracket also. Okay, and click on next. If you want a shortcut, you click on this, then install, and then finish.
For MacBook, I don't think so. We have Notepad++.
Yeah, for MacBook, you do not have. You can use the inbuilt Notepad, or is TextPad available for MacBook?
I think so.
Okay, then you can use it. So here where we code. Okay, so we just go back here and we tell new, create a text document and type the program name hello world and hit enter and change the type. Okay, and or you can do this .java, but it is, you can edit with Notepad++, and here file, save as, Java source file. Save this particular file as Java source file, not as text file. Save it, and you can see it is saved as hello world.java, and you can just delete this text document. So clear, this is how we create a Java source file. You go back here. Now you people tell me what is the code for hello world program.
First, we should create the class first.
Yeah. How do we create a class?
Public class
Public,
access specifier class user,
public class,
the name which we want.
Object
yeah.
name.
What name should we give now here?
Hello world.
Yeah. Can we give it like this?
No, it will throw error.
Should be in
Capital.
Can we name it like this?
No,
No. Then how should I name it?
the name should same as hello world.
Should the name match the file name?
Yeah, correct. The file and the class name, the file name that we have created and the class name should match each other. So this should be capital and this should be capital. Okay, this is the class that we have created. Then we have to create what?
Method header and body.
Yeah, what should be the code?
Public static void.
Public static void main
argument list, string array or args.
Yeah, string array
Or
argument list and
System.v should print.
Yeah, we should print. How do we print?
System.out.println hello world.
System dot out dot println
Hello world.
hello world. Is this correct?
No, it should
No,
be in
sir.
double quotes.
It should be in the command.
Yeah, it should be inside invited quotes.
No.
Okay, cool. So this is the first program of Java. This is how we write Java programs. We installed JDK and we configured the path variable for the Windows, and then we created a folder with our own name, and we created one more folder in that folder with practicals 1. Inside that practicals 1, we have created 3 folders, one for source, one for class, and one for library. And in source folder, we have created a .java file with name hello world, h caps and w caps. And inside that hello world .java file, we opened it with the text notepad++, and we have coded this particular class where the class name and the file name should match. And inside this class, we have coded a main method which prints hello world to the monitor or to the terminal. So how do we run this? Can we run this directly?
No, first we have to compile it.
We should
Yeah.
compile it. Should
Yeah.
compile.
How do we compile this code? I want to compile this code, and the code or the bytecode file that we get, I need to store it in this classes folder. How do we do that? How do we do this?
Open the command prompt and
Yeah. Where should I open the command prompt?
from that source
From
box we can type the CMD.
No, in
the
which
path.
folder? In which folder should I present in the
SRC.
command prompt? Yeah, correct. So how do we do that? The shortcut is go to that SRC folder, and in this tab type CMD. Okay, this opens up the command prompt in that particular folder. Now, how do I run this particular folder or this particular .java file, or compile that particular .java file?
Java C.
Hello world.
Java C
Hello world.
space
world.
hello
World.
world. Is this correct? Shall I hit enter?
Java.
We should add .java.
Yeah, correct. For compiler, we should give the class or the class, the .java file. Okay. Sorry, not class. For compiler, we should give the Java file, the Java source file. Okay. But for JVM, we need to give the class. Okay. So we are compiling, not running. So we tell .java, Java C space hello world .java and hit enter. You see, there are no errors in my code. So it compiled successfully and there are no errors shown in the terminal. The command prompt or that particular prompt comes to the next line with a blank message, with a blank thing. Okay, so now how do I run this particular file? Now you
Java
can
hello
see,
world.
go back here, you can see after compilation, a .class file has been generated. If you click on this and open it with some notepad, so this is the byte code that is generated by Java compiler or Java C. And if you run this byte code, something, whatever code is written to give the output, we get that output. So how do we run this particular dot class file? How do we run it?
Java hello world.
First thing, always remember.
Java space class name.
Yeah, correct. So always remember, the first thing is you got to be there in the terminal or in that command prompt. You should be present in that particular folder, either to run or to compile. Okay, now we are there in the command prompt. We are in that particular folder wherever dot class is present, dot class file is present. So we go there and type Java space the class name, right? Hello world, and hit enter. See, hello world got printed to the terminal or to the command prompt. So if I do not want to keep this .java file and .class file generated together, that is why I have created classes folder separately, so that I have source folders in one folder, source files in one folder, and .class files that is generated in another folder. How can I do that? If you have watched videos, you can remember or recall it.
Best practices.
Yeah, how do we put this .class files to classes folder by using command prompt, command line?
Changing the directory.
Yes, directory we can change is /d.
Not /d, it's
Hyphen
-d.
Sorry, -d.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so how do we do that is I'll just delete this .class file that is generated. So now I have only source file. So I just close this. And I click here, open CMD again here. So I'm going to compile this. After compilation, I get a .class file which contains bytecode. This, after compilation, should be placed in the classes folder. I do that like this. So I do Java C. I need to compile. After compilation, I need to place it, means change the directory. Don't place it in the same directory. -d means that. -d /classes. Okay, so that either you can paste the full this folder name and this particular name should match. Okay, either you can paste the full path, or you can just, you are telling that -d ... means go back from source folder. If you go back from the source folder, you will be in the practicals 1 folder. If you can see that in this UI, you are in the source folder in the command prompt. If you go back, if you press back, you will be in the practicals folder. So in this, go inside. Another dot means go inside this .classes folder and place it. This is what this // means. Okay, we need to place the the resultant file, the .class file, into this classes. So do this Java C -d .classes /classes space. Don't forget to give spaces here. Java C space -d space /classes space hello world .java and hit enter. Okay.
Mahbul, I have one doubt.
Yeah.
Samir here. So we have the bytecode in place, right? After we do a Java C.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember Vikram sir was telling we can take that bytecode and run it in any machine. That's how it
Yeah.
is called as the platform independent.
Correct.
If I take this bytecode, hello world bytecode, and you have ran the code in Windows. If I take
Yeah.
that code and run it against MacBook or Linux
Yeah.
or any of this, it will work.
Yeah, correct. It will work.
Fine.
It will work because why? Why it will work?
Because it's
platform
binary.
Yeah, it is the bytecode is platform independent, but you should have something platform dependent so that this independent bytecode will run on all the machines. So to run this, have you seen that video where there is a difference between JRE and JDK?
Yeah, I
right?
know. Yes.
So to run this Java code, to run this bytecode, you need to have JREs everywhere. Okay, but this JREs are platform dependent. But this bytecode, the JREs are built in such a way that it can run any bytecode which is developed in any JDK. That's why it will run on Mac OS, Linux, or in any other embedded systems, like even your washing machines, although or any other machines for your video play, your CD players that were there earlier. All those things had this embedded systems which was coded in Java. All those things. In all those machines, our bytecode will run if JRE is present. Clear?
As long as we have JRE installed in the
Machine,
we
you
can
can run any bytecode that is compiled by Java compiler.
So one more question here I have. Sorry to
Yeah.
waste.
It's okay, no worries. Please. No, sorry. Please ask. Hello? Okay, we'll continue. Yeah. So this is how we compile the
So you're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Sorry,
Yes,
guys, there was some network issue. The power went off, I think. Okay. So what was the question?
Can we convert the bytecode back to the Java code? That was my question.
No.
No. Okay.
Bytecode, there are some platforms, but you cannot, you are not able to read and understand the bytecode. If you want to convert it like as it is by reading the bytecode, you cannot convert. But there are some platforms to revert back that bytecode to Java code. If you
Then,
read it right like this, where is that? I had opened that bytecode. So do you understand anything? If you see this, can you see my screen?
No, sir.
Oh, sorry.
No, sir.
Yeah. So now can you understand anything when you see this bytecode?
No, sir.
No. You cannot convert it as it is by reading the bytecode, but there are some platforms through which we can convert the bytecode to Java.
Okay. So sorry, one more question here.
Yeah.
So if there are platforms to convert our code back to Java code, so suppose if we have developed a program and we don't want the customers to see that program, right?
Hmm.
Or copy the same code in their machine, they can directly convert this and make the use of the code, right? The code which you have written.
Yeah, that is why means like the main thing that you do, the first word you write in your class as public, or if you remove that, you put it as package. Okay, means that your class should be what available for the public so that they can use it. Okay, so your code should be usable. It is not that you can hide your code. Okay, you can make something to make your code protected, but you cannot hide your code. Even the big what technologies like Google or all those code are open source, so that people can use that code or reuse that code. That is the power of reusing code. But if you want to make your code not to be reusable, there are even more platforms to make it possible. Okay, it's not like that you cannot make your code more protected or what not copyable. There are more platforms to do that if you want to achieve that requirement.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can we use PowerShell instead of CMD?
Yeah, you can use.
Sir, like both the functions are same, right?
Yeah, both are same.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I think PowerShell, whether it uses Linux commands or Windows commands, I have a doubt. You can check it. Okay, like
Okay, sir.
the Java commands are same Javac and Java we use to run and compile. But
Yes.
the things to clear the console and those things, the listing the files, those things may vary.
Okay, sir.
Okay, cool. Any other questions?
Every time do you have to compile like -d ... / classes?
Yeah, // yeah, you did not understand that?
Sir, I understood, but every time should we have to compile like that, or
Yeah,
directly we can compile?
every time whenever you want to put the .class files to classes folder, you got to compile it like that.
Okay.
Okay, so now inside this classes folder, we cannot run this using the same command prompt which is in the source folder. So that we need to open another command prompt in this classes folder. You type CMD here, hit enter, and you open a command prompt in classes folder, and you type Java and type class hello world and hit enter. Okay, now your program got run and this hello world got displayed on the monitor. Clear? Any question? Hello?
No, sir.
You can ask more questions. Yeah.
Sir, can you repeat the like classes again? How
Which
to,
one?
like you have said the classes again, like you have done the compile in the classes.
How to compile and how to run, right?
Yes, sir, yes.
Yeah. So to compile and put it in the classes folder, we use the command javac -d ... /classes, or you can paste the complete path like this. You go back here, copy the path of this classes folder. What is that? So you go to this classes folder, copy this classes folder path, and go back to this javac -d and paste that path. Okay, that classes folder path, and tell hello world .java. if this particular file is already there in that particular the class file is already there in this classes folder, then it will replace this javac command will replace that dot class file and put the newly compiled dot class file into that folder and hit enter. Now you go back here. It is there. Is compiling step cleared?
Yes, sir.
javac-d space javac space -d space the path to the classes folder space the .java name of the file and .java, and you hit enter. If there are no errors, then you get the compiled .class file inside that classes folder with hello world .class extension. Okay, and
Okay.
to run this, you come to this classes folder and type cmd and hit enter, and from here you type java and class hello
Okay.
and hit enter.
World.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
clear. Okay, the common mistakes people do in the beginning is they do mistake in mismatching this file name, this .java file name and class name. They will name it in small letter, this file name, and name it in big letters in the class name. So don't do that mistake. First mistake. And second mistake, they type this public class everything first letter as capitals. Okay, public small p, class small c. And what are all the rules to name a class?
Underscore, dollar symbol.
It should not be start from small. It should be start with the dollar symbol.
Yeah. So
should not
first
contain
thing, the
static,
naming
number.
convention we have to follow as per the rule is it should start with alphabet or dollar or underscore followed with alphanumeric, no special cases, or no special characters, sorry, no special characters, no spaces in between, and no other keywords. Means you cannot name it with the same class. Okay, the same public. You cannot name a class with public. You cannot name a class with same letters. Okay, cannot name a class with static. Okay, like this, no keywords. So these are all the rules to name any what? What are all things you can name in Java? You can name a
Variable, method.
You can name a variable, you can name a method, and you can name a
Identifier.
you can name a class, you can name a variable, you can name a method, and you can name a package. Okay, to name anything, it should start either with a letter or with underscore or with $sign, and it should follow with alphanumeric character, and only special characters you can use in between are dollar and underscore, and no space in between, and no other special characters, and you can have any length of name. Okay, there is no restriction with length, and there is a restriction like 2 billion characters you can write, and nobody uses 2 billion characters to define one class or one variable or like. Okay, clear? So please follow this naming convention. And what are all the best practice we use to name a class?
Camel case.
Name a class. First thing, it should start with
Capital.
capitals. Next,
If
followed
another
with
word and merge
camel
the-
case. If it has multiple words, it should be co-joined with camel case,
Co-joined.
means the first letter of each and every word should start with capital letter followed with small letter. You can use numbers as well. Okay, this is how you name a class. So first mistake is you mismatch this class name and .java file name. Second mistake, you misspell or do spelling mistakes in typing these keywords. Public, class, and those this static, void, all these are keywords. You cannot name it as you like. You cannot type it as you like. You need to type it as it is. P small, C small, S small, V small. Okay. And here the another common mistake is they type it as S small. No, S should be capital. Okay, it is not strings, it is only string. Can we change this? Can we have only this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This means what? This is a variable name. We can have any variable name. Okay, you can have ABC, you can have XYZ. Okay, anything you can. Okay, but it is a general practice for the developers to name this variable with args. Okay, because this is a command line argument that we pass from the JVM if needed to this particular main method. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
what are comma separated variables, sir?
What are comma separated variables? We
Yes.
haven't yet studied variables. We'll come to that when we study variables. Okay.
Okay.
Even if I tell, you do not understand. Do you know what is a variable?
No.
Not yet, right? We'll come to that.
So I have a
Okay.
question.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that the best practice for naming methods is starting with a small letter and the second word onwards, it's a title case. But why
Yeah.
is print ln written like this and why not a capital L?
Yeah, good question. Println, ln is not a complete word. The Java developers chose it to be a small letter. Okay.
Okay.
It is their choice. There is no particular reason, I think, because ln is not a complete word. It means like print and then go to next line. Okay, it's not like print the line, print and then go to next line. Okay.
Okay, got it, sir. Thank you.
Okay, good. Any other question? And system, yes, should be small. Out, sorry, yes should be caps. O should be small. P should be small. Clear? Any questions here until this, or any doubts?
No, sir.
What is this? Can you repeat what to do after creating a text file in source folder? Yeah, I'll repeat it. So means you did not understand how to create a .java file, right? I'll tell that. You go back. How can we create .java files? That is the question. So you go to source folder, you create one text file, okay, new text document, okay, then create one more source folder. I want to create hello, just hello, and I hit enter. Now this is created as text document, but I need to change this document type to Java source file. How do I change it? Either I go here, copy, there was something in show more options. Just a minute. Can I go on change it and I cannot change it here. So I had some special thing, not here. So how did I do this last time is I opened this, right click on this, edit with Notepad or Notepad++. So you click on file and you click on save as, and here the file name is hello, and the normal text file, change that normal text file to Java source file. Okay, you type J, you get that Java source file there and you save it, and this creates hello.java. Okay, and it will be redundant, like the text document will also be there, you can delete it. Okay, this is how you can create a Java source file. You can create a .java file very easily when you start using some IDEs like Eclipse or Visual Studio Code. Okay, or you can do it using command line or argument, some echo, something is there, I have forgotten that, so I'll tell that. Okay, any other question? Is this clear?
No, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, whenever when I try to compile the files from source to B, there is I got an error, like
What?
invalid error.
What error?
Invalid one, sir. Whenever I
Invalid?
try one.
Invalid one.
Yes, sir.
You can just message me, take the screenshot. Anybody can do this. If you face an error, you can put it in the group. Okay, take the screenshot, put it in the group. Someone will answer, or I or Vikram sir will surely answer to that. Or you can message me personally. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Anybody can put messages in the group regarding any doubts or any questions.
Sir, sir, we can't message anything in the group because only admin can send message. There are restrictions, sir.
Oh, then Vikram sir will change it. Okay, tomorrow Vikram sir will come. You can just tell him, he will change the preferences. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You can message me.
Okay, sir. I will message you.
Okay. So I want to see that error. Why that error is come. Okay. Any questions? Okay, we'll wrap up in 10 minutes. You just answer me quickly. What is public?
Access specifier.
Access specifier.
Access specifier. How many access specifiers we have?
Four.
Four. What are
Four,
they?
sir.
Public,
Package,
package,
protect.
protected,
Private.
private. So remember it like this: public with widest access, private with narrowest
Limited
access, protected and package with access with some restrictions. Okay, so our class can be marked as what and what access specifier?
Public and package.
Public and package. We
Package.
can never mark our class with private and
Protective.
protected. Good. Then what is this?
A keyword.
This is a keyword to specify that this particular thing is a class.
Class.
Okay, good. What is this?
Identifier.
Identifier, which is used to identify this particular class. Good.
Class.
Yeah. What is this?
Optional modifier.
Optional modifier. What do you mean by optional modifier?
It's not a mandatory one.
There in the video.
Either we can put it or we can remove it. The program will.
Optional modifier is a modifier which is optional. If we use it, then we are specifying that it has some significance. It will modify slightly the working of this particular method or class. Okay. Can we use optional modifier with class?
Yes, you can.
Yes. We can use optional modifier with class and methods and also with variables. Okay, we'll study that in detail later. Okay, what is this?
Return type.
Return type.
Return type.
Return
What
data
does
type.
this specify? What is the use of this?
It does not return anything.
Yeah, void means it does not return anything. So return data type specify that after achieving these steps, that is, or after executing all the code that is inside this method, you need to return something to the caller. It's like, as Vikram sir tells in the video, you go to shopkeeper, you go to a shop, ask shopkeeper, he does those operation on your requirement, and if he finds things and if he wants to return something after processing all those things, he returns that. If he doesn't have anything to return, he returns void, and means he tells that I do not have anything to return anything to you. Okay, cool. That's why we mention void. Then what is this?
Method name.
Method identifier.
Method
name.
identifier. Correct. Good. So what is this?
A class.
This is a class name with an or with a variable name, which specify that this particular method accepts a string array as a variable or as a parameter. Okay. Don't worry much about this. You learn everything in detail. What is parameter, what is argument, who sends it, how can he send it, everything we'll learn it in detail. Okay. Then this is the line. This is the class that is coded by the Java developer, like Java language developer, which we use to use the system's input output thing. Okay, if we tell system.out, we are going to use the output stream. Don't worry about what is output stream and all. We are going to output this particular hello world to the console by using this line of code. And we use this particular thing, system.out.println, to print anything to the terminal or console. Clear?
Yes. sir.
Any doubts?
So no doubts. I have a question.
Yeah.
Can Java methods return multiple data types simultaneously, like public static int comma void main, something like that?
No, it can have only one return data type.
Okay. Sir.
Any methods can have only one return data type.
Okay.
You can return multiple things. We'll see how. Okay.
Okay. So
Good. Any questions or any doubts?
Yes, one doubt. Why should we write the name of the class in camel case?
Why should we write? You need to tell me.
Best practice.
Yeah, best practice. It is not the rule. You can write it like this. No worries. If your class name and the file name matches, it will compile. No worries. No issues you will find by the compiler, but this is the best practice that we follow, that the developers follow all over the world, to name a class in camel case starting with capital letter. Okay, that is how we can differentiate a class from a method and method from a class and both from a variable and those things. Okay.
We have alphanumeric name for the class.
Yeah, you can have it. You can name it like hello world 1 or hello world 10, like this. You can name it.
Is there any specific count of digits or letters that we have, or we can have
Yeah.
at least?
I told you, right? Like 2 billion you can use. 2 billion letters you can use. Ideally, there is hypothetically no limit.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Any other questions?
Oh.
So shall we end the session?
Sir,
Nice. Yeah.
will we get a recording of today's session?
Yeah, I have recorded it. I'll just.
Because for Mac users, we haven't done the installation, so maybe it will be
Yeah,
little useful.
You will get all the steps when you do the practical one. Maybe you may get it tomorrow or day after. In the meantime, if I get Vikram sir will specify all the steps that you need to do either on Mac or Linux and Windows. It will be there in that lab document. Or if I get it pre-hand, I will just share it in the group.
Okay, sir. If possible, please share today's recording, sir.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank
Sir,
you.
we'll be having offline classes tomorrow.
Yeah, most probably. I will
Should
be
we have
here
to
in the
bring the
premises.
laptop?
You can come.
We should bring the laptop, sir.
Yeah, please bring the laptops. Please bring the laptops. There are no systems in good condition in the lab. Please bring your own laptops so that you carry your work wherever you go, or you carry your code or all the learnings wherever you go.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
Should we download the things now or we can download tomorrow?
Tomorrow, sir.
What? Download?
Should we download the JDK and all now? Or?
It's your comfortable. If you want to download, you can download it.
Or we can
if you want-
come to
Can we
the
install it tomorrow itself, sir, in the premises?
Yeah, you can. You can come over. I will be here by 11:30 or 12 tomorrow. 11:30 a.m. or 12 p.m. So you can come. I'll help you out. Okay. No.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you all. Nice to meet you. I wish I would see you all in person.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, if you come over, it will be like pleasure to me to meet you all.
Sure, sir.
Because we can help you directly when you come over here. It's difficult to help over online. Okay, ideally whenever you have labs, you please come and do it here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Nice
you,
to
sir.
meet you
Thank
all.
you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Bye.